While the entire world was busy racing toward electric vehicles, obsessing over batteries, range, and charging speeds, Japan quietly dropped a bombshell. A car so small, so cheap, and yet so intelligent that it made even Tesla executives sit up in shock. It's a car that costs just $13,000, looks like a toy, runs on petrol, and yet it might be the biggest disruption the EV industry has seen in years. How can a tiny gasoline car possibly challenge billion-dollar electric empires? Why would Japan, the land of technological precision and futuristic innovation, bet on a petrol engine in 2026? This isn't just a car, it's a message. And the auto industry might never be the same again. For years, global headlines were dominated by Tesla, Rivian, and Chinese EV startups like BYD and NIO. The story was simple. Electric vehicles were the future, and anything else was outdated. But quietly, in the heart of Tokyo, something else was brewing. While the world bragged about horsepower and range, Japan's engineers focused on simplicity and necessity. And this new car, a tiny K-car from Mitsubishi, is the product of that philosophy. On the surface, it looks like a box on wheels. But under that minimalist exterior hides a set of ideas that might completely upend the industry. Before we get into the car itself, let's rewind a bit to understand why Japan's car culture is so different from everyone else's. If you've ever walked the streets of Tokyo, Osaka, or Kyoto, you'll notice something immediately. Small cars everywhere, not monstrous SUVs, not luxury sedans, but compact, efficient vehicles called K-cars. These little machines are the soul of Japanese urban life. They're designed to handle tight city streets, impossible parking spaces, and daily commutes that rarely stretch beyond a few miles. But there's a deeper reason behind this obsession. Japan isn't just about cars, it's about balance. Space is limited, fuel is expensive, and efficiency is a way of life. That's why decades ago, Japan's government incentivized small vehicles with tax breaks, cheaper insurance, and simplified parking regulations. Owning a K-car isn't just convenient, it's smart economics. But these aren't boring boxes. Over the years, Japanese companies like Honda, Suzuki, and Mitsubishi have turned these tiny vehicles into engineering marvels. They're loaded with smart tech, safety features, and clever designs that make you forget how small they are. You get airbags, navigation systems, hybrid options, and fuel efficiency that rivals even the best EVs. So when Mitsubishi decided to reimagine the K-car for 2026, they weren't trying to play catch-up. They were reviving a national icon. When the world expected another sleek electric prototype, Mitsubishi announced something completely unexpected: a petrol-powered mini-car. In 2026, when every automaker was boasting about zero emissions and next-gen batteries, Mitsubishi said, "We're going back to basics," and the world was stunned. Why would anyone dare to release a gasoline car when the global industry was going electric? The answer was brutally simple: because it made sense. While electric vehicles look like the future, much of the world isn't ready for them. Charging stations are still rare outside of major cities. Batteries degrade over time, replacements cost a fortune, and charging can take hours. Meanwhile, petrol cars can be refueled in minutes and repaired almost anywhere. Mitsubishi didn't want to chase the trend. They wanted to solve a real problem. They asked a simple question: what do people actually need? And the answer wasn't a futuristic EV. It was a practical, affordable, reliable car that could work for everyone, from city commuters to small-town families. So they built one. Here's the part that's driving EV companies insane. Mitsubishi didn't just release another gas car, they reinvented it. This isn't a noisy, inefficient relic from the past. It's a masterpiece of engineering efficiency. Mitsubishi redesigned its petrol engine to deliver exceptional mileage, ultra-low emissions, and smooth performance that rivals even electric drivetrains. The engine is small, but every part has been optimized, from combustion design to fuel mapping. It's lightweight, quiet, and engineered to last 15 years with minimal maintenance. Think about that. While EVs might need costly battery replacements after 6 or 7 years, this tiny petrol engine keeps running with basic servicing. And the cost? A fraction of what you'd pay for even the cheapest Tesla or BYD. That's the game changer. Mitsubishi didn't build this car for luxury markets. They built it for real people. For those who can't afford $40,000 EVs, for those living in places where charging stations are a fantasy, the strategy was clear. Build what people need, not what companies want to sell. From the outside, it looks almost toy-like, short, boxy, and charmingly small. But step closer, and you realize it's designed with laser precision. The tall, squared body maximizes interior space while maintaining an ultra-compact footprint. The LED headlights and modern grille give it a confident look, while the sleek bumpers and minimalistic trim make it feel modern rather than cheap. The design screams Japanese practicality. Inside, though, is where the real surprise hits. You'd expect cramped seats and cheap plastics, but instead, you find a cabin that feels open, cozy, and surprisingly high-tech. The dashboard is clean and digital, featuring a smart infotainment system with full smartphone integration, voice commands, and an AI-powered driving assistant. Every inch of the car is used intelligently. Foldable seats, hidden storage compartments, cup holders, and sliding doors that make entry effortless even in the tightest spaces. It's not luxury, it's clever comfort. And for families, commuters, or even delivery drivers, it's a dream. You could say it's the perfect blend of cuteness and capability. Now here's where Mitsubishi really shocked the market. They didn't just make a cheap car, they made it smart. The new K car features AI-assisted safety tech usually reserved for premium vehicles. You get automatic emergency braking, lane departure warnings, and even a 360-degree camera system for tight city driving. In Japan's crowded urban streets, that feature alone is gold. Then there's the fuel efficiency. This car sips petrol like it's espresso. The redesigned engine uses advanced combustion timing and lightweight materials to stretch every drop of fuel. It's not just economical, it's environmentally balanced. While EVs claim zero emissions, the truth is their batteries require rare minerals, massive energy for production, and complicated recycling. Mitsubishi's car aims for sustainable practicality, fewer resources, lower costs, and longer lifespan. And here's the twist. The car's onboard computer constantly learns your driving habits. It adjusts throttle response, braking behavior, and even AC performance to optimize fuel use. That's the genius of Japanese design. Quiet innovation that works invisibly. When news of Mitsubishi's car broke, Tesla fans laughed until they saw the numbers. A $13,000 car that's cheap, tech-filled, and practically maintenance-free? That's not competition. That's disruption. Tesla, Rivian, and even Chinese EV brands like NIO have built their identities around expensive, futuristic vehicles. But Mitsubishi just reminded everyone that affordable practicality still sells better than tech showpieces. For years, the EV industry has relied on hype, investors, subsidies, and the promise of tomorrow. But that tomorrow still hasn't reached billions of people. There are entire countries with no charging networks, unstable electricity, and middle-class families who can't spend $40,000 on a vehicle. That's where Mitsubishi wins. They built a car for the majority of the planet, not the top 10%. And now, companies like Tesla are realizing their monopoly might not last. Because if this Japanese strategy spreads, small, efficient, affordable cars, it could collapse the luxury EV bubble. Imagine this. While Tesla continues refining autonomous driving and battery packs, Mitsubishi quietly sells millions of small cars that don't need fancy tech to dominate the streets. That's exactly what's happening. The EV dream relies on infrastructure and wealth. The petrol K car relies on reality. Charging stations? Not needed. Battery costs? Irrelevant. Maintenance? Minimal. And the worst part for Tesla, Mitsubishi is showing the world that innovation doesn't have to be expensive. If every major Japanese brand follows suit, Toyota, Honda, Suzuki, the market could shift overnight. People might start asking, why spend $50,000 when a $13,000 car does everything I need? That question terrifies EV giants. Mitsubishi didn't just release a product. They exposed a weakness. The weakness of the EV revolution isn't technology, it's accessibility. And Japan just filled that gap perfectly. Here's something easy to forget. Japan has always been ahead of its time. When the world doubted hybrids, Toyota's Prius changed history. When others mocked small engines, Honda built some of the most reliable powertrains ever made. And now, when everyone else is chasing electric glory, Mitsubishi is bringing practicality back into focus. This is Japan's real power. They don't follow trends, they redefine them. Their long-term vision is crystal clear. The future of cars isn't just electric, it's adaptable. They see a world where electric vehicles, hybrids, and efficient petrol engines coexist, each serving a specific purpose. It's not about erasing old technology, it's about perfecting it, and that's something the rest of the world forgot in its rush to go green. Japan's approach is sustainable not because it sounds good in headlines, but because it works in the real world. They're proving that the smartest innovation isn't the flashiest, it's the one that solves everyday problems quietly and effectively. At first, the global auto industry dismissed this car as a cute gimmick, but that changed fast. Now analysts are calling it a wake-up call, because this one small vehicle just questioned the entire foundation of the EV revolution. If customers start to realize that an ultra-efficient petrol car can deliver similar savings and convenience without the stress of charging or battery degradation, EV growth could slow dramatically. And Mitsubishi knows it. That's why they're positioning this car not just as a product, but as a symbol, a return to practicality, affordability, and engineering honesty. In a market obsessed with range anxiety and futuristic dashboards, Japan just said, here's a car that works, costs less, and lasts longer. Simple, effective, revolutionary. This move won't stop in Japan. Urbanization is growing everywhere. From Europe to India to the US, cities are getting smaller, denser, and less friendly to giant SUVs. People need compact, cheap, and efficient cars again. If Mitsubishi's model succeeds, we could see similar versions launching worldwide, adapted for each region, using local manufacturing and fuel standards. It's déjà vu, just like how Japanese automakers conquered the world in the 70s and 80s by selling small, reliable cars when Americans were drowning in gas guzzlers. History, as always, is repeating itself. Every major shift in technology creates overconfidence. Right now, EVs are in that phase. They promise a clean future, but ignore the current reality. Infrastructure gaps, affordability issues, and long-term environmental trade-offs. Japan, once again, might have spotted the flaw before anyone else. They're not rejecting EVs, they're redefining the transition. And that's why this $13,000 petrol K car is more than just a headline. It's a challenge to the industry to think smarter, not just cleaner. It's not anti-EV, it's pro-human. Because the future of cars isn't about electricity or fuel. It's about what actually works for the people driving them. So let's step back and look at what just happened. A small Japanese car, one that costs less than most used EVs, has forced an entire industry to question its direction. It's compact, affordable, incredibly efficient, and designed for real-world needs. It's the opposite of everything the EV hype machine stands for, and yet it might just be the car that reshapes the future. While the rest of the world chases the next flashy tech trend, Japan is quietly reminding everyone that simplicity is still powerful. So the question isn't whether EVs are dead, it's whether the world is ready to admit that innovation can come in small, affordable packages. Because this tiny, $13,000 Japanese car isn't just shaking the EV industry, it's shaking the very definition of progress, and maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what we needed. What do you think? Could this little car really challenge Tesla's empire? Or is it just a clever distraction from the inevitable electric future? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild automotive revelations from around the world.